Hiya, welcome to Darren in the studio. Thanks again for swinging by for another video. It's me in the studio today, and I'm in the studio as well. I'm not in my car. If you'd seen my last video I uploaded earlier, I just got set up for doing a video, and Lily decided she was going to have a go, so we might have to change the channel to Lily in the studio. We're going to have to get on with this one because it's a long video, or I suspect it's going to be a long video. I can't look into the future, but I suspect it will be. I have got a ton of stuff to show to you. Over the last few weeks, couple of weeks, I've really dropped on really well, and maybe it's because people have been sort of clearing out for the new year and sort of getting rid of their stuff and whatnot. But I bought, you'll have seen a video or two back, where the last video I did in my car where I showed you a ton of CDs. Not going to go through them, of course, because I've already shown them to you. But some of this stuff has been bought before my last roundup, the one in the car. And also some of it is sort of new that I've bought the last couple of days. So it's been a really great great time for finding music, and I think I've been so lucky this last week or so, because I've really literally been in the right place at the right time, and you'll see what I mean when we get into them. A stack of stuff, mainly sort of vinyl, but you know, there's a few CDs in here as well. We've also got a cassette along the way as well. We'll have a look. It's all in alphabetical order. But brace yourself, sit back, get a coffee, because there's a good chance this is going to be probably one of my longest videos, because I've got to sort of, I've got to catch up with you and show you what I've bought. First off, bought this a couple of weeks ago now, actually. I've just not had a chance to show it to you. This is an album from the Beatles. This is called Rock and Roll Volume 1. I understand, well, it says on the back here, it says previously released as record 1 of the EMI double album Rock and Roll Music. This compilation 1976. This is a nice music for pleasure release. Cover's not too bad. The record itself has seen better days. It didn't have an inner sleeve, so I've had to put a poly one on it, but it's got a really nasty sort of scratch on one side. I've cleaned it up. It plays really nice, and the scratch is more of a surface scratch, but it does click throughout the songs. So really, if I can find an upgrade to this, I will do, because I really like it. It's got some really good stuff on it. Twist and Shouts on here, Saw Her Standing There, I Want to Be Your Man, Long Tall Sally, Kansas City, Matchbox, Roll Over Beethoven. Got some Lennon and McCartney stuff, plus some covers as well. The Beatles Rock and Roll Volume 1, cheap sort of budget release from the Beatles. Next, bought this just the other day. This was a massive sort of drop on find. Went into a shop that I sometimes pop into if I can, and they sell sort of second-hand things. It's not a charity shop at all. It's just a second-hand shop, really, and they do a lot of house clearances and stuff like that. I've left the price on this one. This cost me £1. This is a nice little double album from Johnny Cash. Got a bit of sticker damage just here, and a bit of ring wear on the sleeve. Nice little double package with a nice little gatefold sleeve. This is basically a religious album. It's a gospel album. Well, not necessarily a gospel album, but certainly a religious album as such. 20th Century Fox proudly presents Johnny Cash, The Gospel Road, a story of Jesus, told and sung by Johnny Cash. It's actually a nice little album, actually. It plays beautiful. I'm not a religious person. I don't sort of have any sort of religion. But I really like this kind of stuff. You know, I quite like spoken word as well, and this mixes spoken word with the music as well. It's a really great album, actually. I'll show you the labels because it's an original 1973 press. This I really like the inside inner sleeve. They actually called the inner sleeve and gives you lots of information about releases and things like that. I don't suppose they do that anymore, do they? What do they call that label? Is it One Eye Columbia? You lot in the vinyl community will know that. Nice little British UK pressing. 1973, Johnny Cash, The Gospel Road. Apparently, I looked on Discogs the other day, and when it was first released, it came with a full colour booklet. Unfortunately, the booklet's not featured in this particular copy. Next, another Johnny Cash album. Do like me a bit of Johnny Cash. This is in great condition. It really is. It's got a bit of a crease at the bottom, but apart from that, this is the Rambler. Left the price on this as well, £1. Again, another nice original press from the, I think this is 70s as well, 1977. It actually says 77/76, so I don't know. The Rambler, again, it's a story album. It's basically a guy on a car journey, meets up with a fisherman, and they have a bit of an adventure along the way. Again, it's on the RCA. No, it's not on the RCA. What am I saying? It's not on Columbia or RCA. It's on the CBS label. Again, great condition. I have cleaned all these records up. Most of them, anyway, because some of them were in pretty poor condition. The Rambler, Johnny Cash, £1. Next up, one of my favourite albums of all time. If I did like a top 100 albums in my collection, this would certainly be well into the top 20, I would have thought. Got 2 copies of this on vinyl, and I bought it as a new release when it came out in 1986, I believe. This album came out. This is Robert Cray, the Robert Cray Band. This is Strong Persuader. This is my favourite album of Robert Cray's. I was on work the other day and I had to go into Leicester, and I just swung by one of the local charity shops, the Salvation Army charity shop, and they had a stack of CDs, and this was in there. I had to swap out the case because it was pretty destroyed, but it's a nice little original Mercury CD. Robert Cray Band, 1986. Strong Persuader. This was 25p. Next, a single. I don't usually buy singles, but I saw this in the second-hand shop just the other day. I love this single. It's one of those songs you think, you see stuff, don't you? You think, oh, I like that. I always like that song. I'm having that. This is the Dream Academy, which is what, 19? I think this is 86 as well. My eyesight is terrible at the minute. The light's not brilliant in here. 1985, sorry. The Dream Academy, Life in a Northern Town. Being a northerner, quite like this record. Really good condition. Nice sort of picture sleeve. Nice sort of vinyl's in great condition. I haven't cleaned that one up yet, but I will get around to it. Dream Academy, 7-inch single, Life in a Northern Town. Next, an album that I bought again from a second-hand shop, but a different second-hand shop, which is just up the road to the one that I sometimes go to. This is the Flock of Seagulls. This is the 90 or 81, got to be something like that, album, which is called Listen. I don't know what year this came out. Let's have a look. It's on the Jive label, 1983, on the Jive label. Flock of Seagulls. This has the big hit single Photograph of You on it. Wishing I Had a Photograph of You. I mean, check out this 80s artwork. Jive Records put out quite a lot of stuff, and their artwork was always sort of like this. This is a bit of a classic album, really great condition. I haven't cleaned it up and haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to listening to this. This was £1, Flock of Seagulls. Next up, Genesis, the Way We Walk, Volume 2, The Longs, Genesis Live, the long tracks. They did sort of a greatest hits, didn't they? And this was the part 2 of the greatest hits collection, the longs. This has all the long sort of tracks on it. Lily's just walked into the studio. I think she wants to get back on. This was £1. Really enjoyed this. I'm not really a massive fan of early Genesis work, you know, all the long stuff, sort of Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and all that kind of stuff. And pretty much because I've not really heard much of it. But I do like me a bit of Genesis, and this is a great album. More or less, it says live on it. It is a live album. Lots of stuff on here. Hang on, Lily wants to say hello. Come on. Told you she'd get in on it again. She's got a biscuit bone, which she's... Or is that a stone? No, it's a bit of a biscuit bone. She hides this stuff in the studio, don't you? Hides all sorts of things. We're doing a radio show and there's biscuit bone everywhere. Anyway, get down there. Anyway, yes, Genesis. Now it's got biscuit all over it. Nice little original. I think this was 90s when this came out. 1993 on the Virgin label. The Way We Walk Part 2. I've got The Way We Walk Part 1 as well. £1 though for a mint condition CD. £1. Next, it's Hootie and the Blowfish. This is an album. This is a replacement album. I've got this on a CDR in here somewhere. But this is the Fairweather Johnson album. This is about 95-ish, something like that. Fairweather Johnson, mint condition. This cost me 25p. It's just mental, isn't it? 25p. Really good album though. This. The thing is with Hootie and the Blowfish, they're one of those bands where I'm not really into listening to an entire album of it, because it can be kind of samey. But I do like Hootie and the Blowfish. I mean, Only Want to Be With You and Hold My Hand and stuff like that. Great tracks. Fairweather Johnson, 25p. Another Hootie and the Blowfish album from the same store was Musical Chairs. This came out a year after Fairweather Johnson, and the reason I've kept the price specifically on this one is you won't see it because it's very faint as it is, but this was originally priced, I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? This was originally priced at $39.99. So whoever originally bought this, bought it for $39.99. I paid 25p. Haven't played this one yet. Again, a nice little original. Hootie and the Blowfish. This album, like I say, is called Musical Chairs. Next, a band that I've played on the radio a couple of times. A band from Market Harborough called Invicta. Hard rock band. They're all really young guys. They're sort of like 15, 16, 17 years old. This is their 4-track EP, just called Invicta. If you like your music, hard rock, kind of really well produced this. It doesn't say where it was recorded or anything, but unless that's it there, Initiate Audio and Media, it could be. But whoever produced this, whoever was behind the desk and, you know, doing the technical side of things, did a really good job of it. Invicta, if you get a chance to see this band, they're only young lads, check them out, support some really, really good rock music, but really intelligent. I don't know how to describe it. Really well performed, really, really good stuff. Invicta, Divinity, King of Kings, Denounce the Crown and Tyranny are the songs on here. Picked this up at one of their gigs at the weekend for a £5. Be playing more of that on the radio. Next, someone that I sort of picked this up because it was £1, and I thought, well, I can't really go wrong for £1. So I took a chance on it and I played this today. and it's really good. I really like it. This is Jean-Michel Jarre and his 1981 album, which is called Magnetic Fields. This is on the Polydor label. Now, I always think people who own Jean-Michel Jarre albums have like really great stereos and look after their records, because you can imagine this kind of music on a crappy sort of vinyl copy that looks like someone's had a pizza on it, you know what I mean? It would be awful, wouldn't it? But this is in superb condition. It really is. I mean, I did clean it up, but to be fair, I didn't really need to. Here's the inner sleeve. I've not even swapped out the inner sleeve or anything, because it just plays beautifully. It really does. And I really like it. I didn't think I was going to like it very much, because I don't usually go with sort of electronic instrumental music. Not that I've heard much of it, but I really like this. Magnetic Fields, 1981, Jean-Michel Jarre, quid. Next, bit of background. Like I said, I popped into a second-hand shop that is in the next sort of couple of villages away, and they sometimes have records in there, and I was just sort of, oh yeah, Mantovani, you know, James Last, and then came across an Elton John album. Wasn't in the greatest condition. A few more LPs in, another Elton John, and then another one. Turned out, I think there's 7 Elton John albums here, so we'll rifle through them. Some of these have got post-it notes on them because, number one, with the year of release, and also so I know whether it's been cleaned or not. So I shall be putting my post-it note back on. This is Elton John's Empty Sky album. 1969 this came out. I think this is an original press. Nice little gatefold. Now these records, the Elton John albums, have been stored very inappropriately. Whoever had these before me, probably a house clearance to be fair. These have been kept in somewhere very, very damp and very, very smelly. They got that horrible sort of musty smell to them. I've cleaned this. This has been cleaned. Lily's back. This has been cleaned, but I'm going to put an antibacterial sort of wipe over the sleeve just to give it a bit of a freshen up before I put it in a thing. Really nice condition. Like I say, I was playing this today. Sounds absolutely superb. This was £1, £1. Next Elton John album. Put my post-it note back on there. Next Elton John album from 1970. This is the Tumbleweed Connection album. Again, relatively decent condition. This still has the attached booklet inside. You can see there, I've gone forward with it, haven't I? There you go, Lily's trying to get in. Look, hey up Lily, you're on camera. Really nice condition for its age. Nice little original pressing. Tumbleweed Connection, 1970 this came out. Again, I've left the price on to prove. £1. Put my post-it note back on so I know it's been cleaned. Next one. The condition of this one isn't great. But it was worth £1. I think we post-it note off. From 1971, this is Madman Across the Water. 1971, gatefold sleeve. Again, has a nice little attached booklet inside. Again, vinyl's in great condition. I'll quickly show you. I've changed out the inner for this one. Look at that vinyl, it's in beautiful condition. Really nice. Thankfully, the mould and sort of dampness hasn't got to any of these records, which is quite something really. Once they've been in the house for a few days, they'll sort of dry out and whatnot. Madman Across the Water from 1971. Again, £1. See this here, look. What are you doing? Also, Elton John, 1972. This is his Honky Chateau album. Now this album's in pretty poor condition, cover-wise. The vinyl is great. Again, it was £1. Nice little original press. Got a lot of sleeve damage on the bottom. Looks like this one had been possibly in something sticky. I don't know what, but all this is damage on the bottom, and I've had to sort of repair. A lot of the seams had gone and whatnot, but so I've had to put some repair tape on it, some double-sided tape to keep it down. Nice little original 1972 copy of Elton John's Honky Chateau. Next, from 1974, I did say there was a lot of Elton John, didn't I? This is the Caribou album. This is in much better condition, but it's got some like laminated, so it's probably saved it from being totally trashed. Got a nice inner. Got an inner with an inner. No, it's not. Just normal. I don't think I've cleaned this one, so this will give you an idea of what they originally came like. You can see a bit of sort of muck on there. Some sort of mould starting to form as well. But once I've gone through my cleaning process and put the old vinyl back on it, they come up really nice. Caribou, Elton John, 1980 something, I think this. It's got some hits on here. The Bitch Is Back is on this one, which is a great song. Elton John, £1. Now Lily wants to get back down again. This video is going to be long enough without little Lils getting in the way, eh? Say hello. Okay, you're getting down. Yeah? Your ear's gone backwards. She'll want to get up again in a minute. Another Elton John album. Haven't cleaned this one, but this is... It just shows you what you can actually find. This is Elton John's Captain Fantastic. The Brown Dirt Cowboy album. Again, got some sleeve damage on both the front and the back. It's gatefold as well. Inside looks relatively clean. But somebody's written on it here. When I first saw it, I thought it might have been Elton John's autograph, but it isn't. This album, 1975. First off, I'm going to show you the vinyl. Hasn't been cleaned yet. Nice bespoke labels. And also within the record cover. Now, as you probably know if you buy sort of old records, now in the 70s they really made an effort with records for value for money. And this album came with some extras, and the extras are still in it all the way from 1975. So I shall show you the extras. First off, a little booklet called Scraps. You can see some damage here, but essentially still nice. Doesn't really look like it's been looked at much. First booklet. Second booklet is the lyrics. Nice artwork as well on here. Just been folded over a little bit there. I might have to iron that out. Nice little original booklet. And third, bit of damage on it. Bit of sort of water mold damage. But what do you expect? Would you expect to see an original poster that came with the album itself? All that, my friends, for £1. Like I say, a bit of sort of damage when it comes to mould. and things like that, which is, you know, it's difficult when people sort of don't bother with their records anymore, or maybe people inherit records that they didn't want in the first place. Oh, what am I going to do with these? Don't know, stick them in the garage. But I don't know, if this particular album was in absolutely mint condition with all these inners with it, I don't know how much it'd be worth. 40, 50 quid, 60 quid, possibly, I don't know. I bought that for £1. Next on the list, another Elton John album, the last Elton John album that I bought. This is also from 1975. This is Rock with the Westies, Rock of the Westies. Nice little original, got some sleeve damage here. Looks like they were all together, doesn't it? And they've all got damaged. More sleeve damage on the bottom here. But again, the record itself's in perfect condition. Some inner sleeve with the lyrics on. Got some damp damage here at the bottom, but nothing to shout about. A nice little inner as well. Original sort of cardboard inner, which has a inner with it. I should probably swap out this inner. And this hasn't been cleaned, and you can sort of see some of the mould and stuff that started to collect on it. But this will clean up really nicely. I like this label. It's got Elton on one side, and on the other side it's got the band. That's pretty cool. I'll swap out this inner sleeve for a poly-lined clean one, because this inner sleeve still feels a little sort of damp and stuff. Rock of the Westies, 1975, Elton John, £1. Next, oh, let me put my thing back in here, hang on a minute. Next, for 50p. 50p, I picked this up. This is a second pressing of the Joy Division's Love Will Tear Us Apart. On the factory label, second pressing, looked on Discogs with this. It's a sort of something house press. Someone will know more than I do. There's the original label. I've cleaned this up. This plays great. It really does. Original Love Will Tear Us Apart from the Joy Division. Of course, factory record stuff is really collectible. This is a second press of it, but even so, it's still collectible. I think on Discogs it's 60, 70 quid. Not bad for 50p. Next, a CD that I picked up from the second-hand shop. This is a nice little double album of Roy Orbison love songs. Opening track is Crying with K.D. Lang. It's got all the big ones on here. Drove All Night, In Dreams, Old Pretty Woman's on here, Pretty Paper. It's just a really great album. Blue Bayou's on here. Really nice. Not really sure what year this came out. 2001, I think that says on the Virgin label. Nice little Roy Orbison collection for £1. Next, this was a really good find. It's not in the greatest condition, but it's nice to have it in the collection. I have a reissue of this album, which I bought probably a couple of years ago, and it's an album I've looked for a long time. If you can get an original first press of this album, it's worth in good condition, it's worth about £1,300. This is the very first Rolling Stones album. This was £1. Now, like I said, it's not in the greatest of conditions. It's seen better days, this record. And it originally, when I bought it just the other day, it didn't have an inner sleeve, so the record's been sort of open to the elements, if you like. So I've put a poly-lined one in there, and it's got some scratches and stuff like that. I haven't cleaned this yet. I will do though, but it's got a pretty nasty scratch. I don't know if you'll see that. Can you see that? You can see that. I know you can. Sadly, that is exactly what you think it is. And I think that's not going to play through, is it? It's going to click like mad. But like I say, I have got a reissued recent copy of this album. But like I say, if you can find this, a very first press, it's worth an absolute ton of money. And the way you can tell whether it's a first press or a subsequent press is the track on it called Tell Me, which is track 3 on side 2, on this album is about 4 minutes long. But on the first press, it's about 2.5 minutes long. So that's how you tell them apart. But even so, this is worth, you know, a few quid. And nice to get it for £1. Nice to have it in the collection anyway. Next, a CD, which cost me 25p. This is Royal Blood, sort of like a rock band. This is on the Warner Brothers label. This is 2014, I think that says. I think this was their debut album, Royal Blood, 25p. Trying to rifle through these now while Lily's getting in the way again. Look, the Lily show. Darius Rucker. We were talking about Hootie and the Blowfish earlier, weren't we? This is the singer of Hootie and the Blowfish. Went on to have a solo career. This is his 2014, I think, this album, something around there. I can't read it. 2003 maybe. His album, which is called Back to Then. Nice little original CD. Darius Rucker, he of Hootie and the Blowfish fame. That was, I can't remember how much this was. I can't remember. Probably £1 or something. Next, Feargal Sharkey, he of the Undertones fame, of course. This is Feargal's first solo album. Got a few hits on here, including A Good Heart, You Little Thief is on here. I haven't cleaned this up yet, I haven't played it. But nice little... Lily, what's the problem? Nice little original pressing. Nice little bespoke labels. Like I say, haven't cleaned it yet. Got a nice arty inner sleeve as well. It's the Lily and Daz show, isn't it, today? It really is. Don't know what year that is, 80 something. I can't see. Next up, this is an album which I've heard these on the radio. Absolute Radio play them quite a bit, and I heard a song and thought, oh, I like that song, and I picked up this CD because I thought I'd like the rest of the album, and I do. And if you're a fan of sort of sugary poppy country music, then this is for you. Fans of Lady Antebellum would love this. This is a band called The Shires. I think this is one of their sort of latest albums, because this is like 2018 this came out. Somebody must have bought it and then decided they didn't like it. This album is called Accidentally on Purpose. I think that's the single that I quite like. I've heard it on the radio and I thought, well, I quite like that. And it's quite a good album, actually. It's like I say, if you like your sugary poppy country music, then this is for you. And if you don't, then steer clear. But I quite like it. It's not a bad little record. It's brilliantly sort of performed. The Shires, 25p that. Next, nice little Simon and Garfunkel collection, The Essential Simon and Garfunkel. This is a double album in one of those sort of single cases. Get the other CD there, look. Nice little collection, double album from, I'm not even going to say when it was, I can't read it. Essential Simon & Garfunkel, this was 25p. Lily, what is the problem? Come on. She's all over it today. What have you done? You've gone and buried something. You want it back. Here's another drop on. Bought this the same time I bought the Joy Division 12-inch single. This is the Smiths. Nice little original pressing 12-inch copy of This Charming Man, which features two different versions of it. A London version called London and Manchester. Two different mixes. Comes with Accept Yourself and Wonderful Woman. 1983 on the Rough Trade label. Nice little original, this. And the reason you can tell that it's an original, having sort of checked on Discogs, is Rough Trade changed the Rough Trade logo to look like the Capitol label. And apparently Morrissey didn't like it, so they made some stickers and stuck them over the top. Can you see that that's a sticker? The Rough Trade label is actually a sticker over the top. Can you see it? Now, it did have a sticker on the back, by the look of it, that Rough Trade Records would have put on just there. But someone's took that sticker off, and that's what the label looked like that Morrissey didn't like. Nice little original 12-inch single by the Smiths. This was 50p. Next, a cassette. Thanks to my mate Gary at work. Got this cassette player in the office. And Lily, what do you want, woman? Got this cassette player at work. And I said to Gary, bring in your favourite Stranglers album. And he brought in this. This is the No More Heroes album. Nice little original, this, from 1977. J-card's in really nice condition. There's the cassette. I said to Gary, bring it in and we'll give it a play. And we did. And at the end of playing it, he says, oh, you can have it. I don't really want it anymore. He downloads everything nowadays. Nice little original. Only problem is, in my studio cassette deck, it doesn't play at all. It will not have it. It absolutely hates it. So I downloaded it onto my phone, and I really, really like this album. So I'm sort of on the hunt for a second-hand sort of cheap copy of that. That'd be great. No More Heroes, thanks to Gary. Getting to the back end of it now that we're nearly 40 minutes in. This is a nice little collection. This is a collection that Marina, my partner's, already got. And I couldn't leave it in the shop for 50p. Her copy's pretty damaged. But this is a nice little compilation on the K-Tel label from 81. K-Tel Records. This is called Modern Dance. Loads of people on here. OMD, Japan, Human League, Depeche Mode, Heaven 17, Simple Minds are on here. Who else is on here? Visage, Fashion. It's a really great album as well. It sounds pretty good. I cleaned it up. Really nice. Human League. Modern Dance. The reason I said Human League is no doubt this illustration's based on the chap out of the Human League. Modern Dance, nice little compilation on the K-Tel label. Now, I very rarely pick up box sets that are compilations. You see a lot of country music box sets and stuff like that. And I took a chance on this one for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's got some great artists on it. And it's in the best condition of all time. It really is. The cover is awful. The cover of a lot of these things, the artwork is just crap. This is called Relaxing with Country. Now, if you was to see this in the second-hand shop, wherever, you'd avoid it like the plague, wouldn't you? But this is a really great 8-disc, 8 vinyl record Reader's Digest collection. It came out in 1988, and you know what? I think I'm the first one ever to play these records. It's got some great songs there. There's quite a lot of Dolly Parton tracks on here, and they're all great. She does quite a few sort of cover versions. I'm playing one on my radio show tomorrow. She does Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds. She does a version of that. House of the Rising Sun as well, she does. Some great artists on here. Dolly Parton, Billy Joel Spears, Anne Murray's on here, Chet Atkins, Jim Reeves, George Hamilton, Dwayne Eddy, Floyd Kramer, Kenny Rogers. Loads and loads of people on here. Like I said, it looks crap. It really does look crap. But what I love the most about it, like I said, is the quality is second to none. Here's the booklet. Tells you all the release dates, gives you a write-up of all the tracks. It's the nice little thing that you always got with Reader's Digest, so-called certificate. But the vinyl is incredible, and Reader's Digest really went to town with quality. There's no doubt about it. I mean, every single record is polylined in these thick inner sleeves, and the actual vinyl itself is in second to none condition. I mean, A++, all these vinyl community people say that, don't they? These are in new, as new. You know, no spindle marks or anything. Like I say, I think I was the first one to ever play this collection, and it's a great collection. Genuinely, it is a great collection. Like I say, it's called Relaxing with Country. Sounds crap, I know, but it's not. Honestly, it's a really great collection. So if you're into your country music of sort of like the 60s, 70s and 80s, and you ever see this, don't forget, 8 albums in here, 8 vinyl records in here. Really awful packaging, but really good quality sort of box set, nice booklet, and like I say, everything's in polylined sleeves and really good quality, and plays like a dream. It really, really does. That's it. You'll be glad to know. I did say it was going to take a while. We are now nearly 45 minutes in, which is far too long for a video. That's more like a Netflix series, isn't it? Anyway, I shall leave you for now. I wanted to thank all the new subscribers as well. Thanks for that. Absolutely superb. If you do like what you've seen and you've stayed to the end, big thumbs up there. You get a big prize. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll see you in the studio again for a shorter video very, very soon. See you in a bit. Ta-da.